Okay, so we are back. I have a feeling that this is the final part of this of I'm Dead. We're getting to the final story, and we're learning about Maggie. And she's like supposed to be like one of the first humans and like over 3,000 years old. Let's try to figure out what's going on. Cersei Jackson. Cersei is back in Shelmiston after a lifetime away. Her mom worked the shrimp trawlers, and her dad was from a famous Bacon family in Old Town. Cersei, I wonder how you pronounce that. Left the island for university to read history at Cambridge, but she didn't finish her degree. Said she ran off with the circus, touring Northern Europe with her innovative and darling equestrian act. Her collection of tutus and sparkling leotards is now in the MBA museum. But this time took a toll when she is returned to Shelmiston looking for a quieter life. She found it in the museum, the place where first ignited her love of history. She knows Morris has done a good job and respects his vision, but is keen to add to the collection. A study of the fish people, a history of the Bracken harvest, ethical shrimping, and she can't wait. That's a fitting replacement. I wonder if her gray hair is like a sign of her age. Vying to be next year's Queen of the Sea. Audrey Purple, hopefully like Queen of the Sea. And they just played a cricket match in the middle of the war. Who's that? The epic operation for centuries birds of the island. Separate for Indian mission migrated to settle, so it was eventually that they come here the way the air is and race game, but these days they mostly come for their holidays. I need to find something on Sally, you were supposed to be leaving to go see your sister. The Mile Humboldt shell. This is the actual shell that Miles Humboldt used to win the 2016 Shellers Cup. Miles kindly donated it to the museum so that everyone can have a taste of what it's like to be a shell racer, not suitable for those with claustrophobia or a nervous disposition. This is all good.
Well, don't suppose I'll ever look at Aggie's room the same way again, will I?
Morris, take a look at those skulls, please.
The skulls? Well, they have memories inside them? Oh, that's rather morbid, Sparky.
Not quite. Look, I didn't explain this before because I felt things were confusing enough, but that slicing is a bit more powerful than I've led you to believe.
Oh, well, what do you mean?
Well, we aren't limited to memories of people who are alive. People are bounded by time, but memories aren't. Check it out.
They introducing a new mechanic.
Oh, I didn't think dead stomachs could get queasy, but here we are. Where are we, Sparky?
When are we, Morris? This is Shelmiston in Aggie's time. You should be able to find some memories of her here.
You are some dog, Sparky.
So, he's gonna be our connection back to the museum. children of the village receive a daily lesson from the current chief of the village. Village elder.
It was the worst night in the world when Aggie was born. It began in the old village, the one swept away by the rivers of fire. The ground shook and the earth split open and spat sparks. The sun hid and the huts burst into flame as we fled. I thought we would all die. Everyone washed in the burning orange death, and Aggie's mother howling with the pain of the child coming. We made it as far as the cliff top by the sea. The mountain was still roaring and roaring. The rock ran in rivers toward the sea. The air smelled of death and poison. But Aggie was perfect. Small and angry, her tiny fists pummeling the air. I used my knife to cut the cord. We chose a spot for the new village closer to the beach. The burning rivers cooled to pumice and black glass. I made sure everyone knew that a life that began in this way would be special. Not everyone believed me, but Aggie proved me right.
So what are we looking for? The night?
My goodness. Giving birth like that must have been awful. What a terrifying situation.
So, where do you think that knife is? Should we look around here, or...?
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen that knife before. Back at the museum, I reckon.
Okay, Morris, let's go.
So, are we gonna have to go back to the museum to find all this stuff? Or we can just go back to the museum at will? Not here with her. Is the knife? No, that's not the knife. crazy. So apparently, I probably one step too far. A Daybreak Abrams, is that on display? It's just the model of everything. Where's the knife? Oh, it's right here.
Beautiful. And to think that people had not long stopped using flint tools when this was made.
There is so much history in this knife.
Ooh.
I'd love to see what else it got up to.
I'm getting the scent of Grenkins again, Morris. I'll pop up to let you know when we're close to one.
Bet you there's in the cases. Yep. Oh, this is it. How many? 10. That's fair. Is there one in here? They pop up there. Ooh. Is it this one? Why is there a snake in there? You don't need to be taking these actual instruments and checking them. Oh, it's probably this one. I was thinking it was gonna be like the base or the keys or whatever. Are you just sitting in there hiding? We found a couple of them so far, so so let's go back. Because I guarantee you she's gonna be like, oh, it's another member. Doesn't necessarily all have to be good on it, does it? Okay, that's close. That's a minute. Okay, let's see. Oh, he died young. That's a child. Who has some- This looks like the park. This would have been like the here. The priestess hut. Sappy, the priestess is busy preparing 10 culture for the boat. fish person and Aggie's friend.
Of course we watched her. We had heard of her birth and seen her on the shore. Her feet sometimes in the seawater, her body in the sun. We did not show ourselves at first. As a test, we left the mirror on the black shore, born of the volcano on the same day as her, and waited to see what would happen, to see if it called to her. She picked it up, turned it from side to side. She took it home. The next time I saw her, I introduced myself. We sang together, and I showed her how the mirror worked. How if you emptied your mind and thought of air and light and sea, you would see things in its surface. How things would unfurl in the future. Aggie was better at mirror gazing than any of us sea folk.
So they were scarring.
She saw a girl, her own daughter not yet born, as leader of the dry folk. I told Aggie to keep on gazing into that mirror, that one day the island would need something more than a leader.
So they knew she was gonna like.
Oh, I had a box of rocks that looked like that mirror somewhere. Where did I put it?
Go back to the museum. Let's get a box of rocks. Where would you have put a box of rocks in? See, I feel like this is the mirror. Obsidian mirror. Like this is what I would consider a scarring mirror. That one's not this much. Obsidian mirrors on a smaller scale than this were widely used in magic to see the future or into the fairy kingdom, and it's on loan from a private collection. And where would we find a box of rocks? She got pencils. We had a box of rocks. Oh, what's that? That's not it. Is it the camera? Did he run the race in the flip-flops? Those are the gourds. There we go. Even with like a miniature of his coffin, I'll be like, that's weird. I wonder how they plan on entombing him. No, it's like a ship wheel. They had a box of
Oh, I'll sing you a song of the Queen of the Sea. When I first met her and when she first met me.
I don't know how this is gonna do on copyright, but
Of the silver and red and the
the
stars
song's
of
Umbrellas
my
constitutional
life.
song, recorded in the town of Love in 1969, sung by Gareth
Of my
Jones,
fathers
accompanied by the
and
Laura
brothers,
Singers.
my first precious night.
I still haven't found the box of rocks in the second. Oh, the box of rocks. Or should I just be looking for the geo? Because the actual geo is not there. What is this doing here? I'm lost where it is no city. What is this? This now. What is it that put me out of There we go. Now all the Grinkins that we have found the actual oh, it's up there, it's up there, it's up there. There we go. Okay, that was difficult. I knew it was gonna be in the box. I just didn't know how that was gonna work out.
Whoa. This thing is really powerful, Morris. Can you feel it?
I wonder if we can complete it. I mean, he's a ghost and should be able to. And Selene is a volcanic rock. I think he just putting shit. But I mean, it's not like he knows that he just putting any and everywhere. This is another child. They did not live long at all. Ceremonial stone. Okay, so we did find that. Homestead. Aggie's daughter. She turned out to be like a warrior.
I was always fearless. My mother Aggie told me there was nothing I couldn't do. With Otsul and without, I hunted the deer in the woods and the hares on the mountain, all before I had taken my first lover. And younger still, one time Aggie had me knock her tooth out when she was in terrible pain. I didn't mind even when the blood poured out. It was easy for me. Spears and knives were my nature. Death and courage were my meat and drink. I knew about Aggie's mirror, of course, but did not believe all of it. When Aggie warned us the Mauler was sick and there would be fewer calves for the following years, none of us listened. It was to be my first cull. I wanted their blood. It was my nature. We would not take less of the Mauler just because an old woman told us to. She came to the
Should've
beach
listened.
after the Morlo slaughter. Her hair wild, eyes burning with fury. Raged and shouted like a woman out of her mind. "We had killed too many," she said. Then she left the village. Told us she was done with all of us. Forever.
She was trying to save them way before 3,000 years before they.
As Otsul marked me with oil and blood, I did not mourn my mother leaving. I was young and foolish, and the sight of her ashamed me. But of course, I did not see what was to come.
To think that they were still having the same arguments about the Morlo way back in the Bronze Age.
Aggie must have sensed the trouble ahead. Maybe she was trying to find a way to prevent it.
So I think we gotta go to the Morlo exhibit.
Oh, the Morlo is wide and the Morlo is tall. Left my feather bed when I first heard the call. Just a boy in the soft heart who had never left land. Queen of the sea made me first a man.
What a beautiful object. Delighted to have it in our museum.
They came to Pendeen when the moon rose so high. They
Where are? Oh, there he is. This person and Aggie's friend. So all these skulls.
She was alone, and I would bring her food sometimes, samphire and sea urchins. She would make dry food and we would eat it together. Textures unlike any we knew that broke apart in your hands and in your mouth. We would sing together, make tea together. We became her family. The dry folk left her alone. She had a companion for a few seasons, a hind, who came down from the mountain and slept at her fire. And then, for a few more, her golden hair that ate from her hand. One night we all felt it. Those of us in the water and those above. The island waking, rumbling, alive again, more furious than before. I found Aggie awake, tending her fire, unsleeping, unresting, staring into her mirror. She told me she'd seen the island sinking into orange fire and boiling sea, lost forever above and below. The village and our town in the sea caves, all gone. Aggie went to the shore and blew the sinistral shell, calling our people up from the water. Aggie sang for them, the oldest song, and we spoke for some time. That night, the sea and sky was all the same color, a deep grey blue like a mackerel's back without the glitter. A As the dawn approached, Aggie left the beach to return to her people, to tell them what must be done.
So what must be done?
I'm not sure. I want to see what happens next.
We have to, Morris.
So we this far in. We done agreed to all this shit now. So what is that, like a piece of coal? These seashells are extremely rare examples of left-handed and turn anti-clockwise. These shells are often played by fish folk.
Such a small thing. But it changed the entire course of our island.
I don't know if I would have did all this. I think I would have let the volcano eat them. But not eat them, but burn them up. That would have been the best thing for everybody. Okay, these are human skulls, and now I guess these. No, because one of these was a fish person too. I feel like this is obviously a fish person. Another village elder.
We heard the shell and knew Aggie had returned. Ibni was the leader then. It had taken many seasons, more than we would have liked, but there were finally enough Molo again and our village was growing. We were strong. Some of the younger ones didn't know Aggie and didn't want to hear her, called her a moon-shot crone. But Ibni looked in her mother's face and saw the truth of it. The end would come. The earth was growling again. There would be hot rivers of death and clouds of poison.
My thing is, y'all can see that big ass volcano. Y'all didn't feel the earthquakes. Like, I hate when people just be in denial.
But Aggie brought us the answer. She would give herself to the island. Ibni's voice shook. Surely a deer or a goat would be enough. The year's finest, blackest calf. Aggie cast down her eyes and shook her head. We all knew. I offered my blade, but Aggie turned me away. She took her knife that had cut her own cord the night the volcano last erupted and wrapped Ibni's fingers tight around the bone hilt. It must be you, Ibni, she said. And it must be now, before the sun comes up. This day, this morning, or we are all gone. The village, the people, the island. Aggie embraced her daughter. Ibni whispered something, but I could not catch the words. Both women's faces shone with tears. Aggie sat on the ceremonial stone, the tears streaming now from all of us. Aggie delivered her final message. She told us her body must not be burned or given to the sea, but lain in the earth of the island beneath the mountain. Ibni was shaking, and then I realized it was not just Ibni. The whole island was trembling under our feet, waking up. Aggie told Ibni to be quick, the end was coming.
And they be so quick to be like, oh,
as Aggie took Ibni's hand and guided the knife to her side, we saw the fish folk rising from the sea, hundreds of them, so many. I had no idea there were so many. Aggie was quiet the whole time, but Ibni cried out. A sound of longing and hurting from her heart like I had never heard. Then she fell silent, and as Aggie's life poured from her body, the island and everything on it fell suddenly still. Utterly still. We wept then, in sorrow and relief. Then the fish folk were among us, countless, numberless. One embraced Ibni, holding her up as it seemed her own legs might give way. When the sun came up that day, land and sea folk stood together for the first time, talking and singing the old songs, Aggie's songs, together. Ibni and the fish folk took Aggie up onto the mountain. They laid her in the peat alongside the knife and all the things she would need on her journey. Ibni watched over Aggie for days afterwards. Before she was covered, she placed a sacred carved stone, Aggie's beloved hair, inside her mother's mouth, to guide her and help her keep the mountain still forever. And so it was.
Oh, Aggie. Now that's bravery.
She knew she had to become a ghost in order to be the custodian. And I also want to say, Greg was right. Y'all can say how many times he was an asshole or life lesson to those of you watching. I never met somebody that was a bitch or asshole that was wrong. Now we found this accidentally earlier. Just kill all the lyrics back.
Hey, Sparky, it feels a bit, disrespectful looking inside Aggie's body like that.
You were the one who dug her up and put her on a plinth, Morris. Relax, Morris. This body isn't Aggie anymore. She's long past needing this old thing.
Well, all right then.
Why y'all do that so fast?
Okay, Morris. I'll level with you. We absolutely didn't need to find Aggie's mementos in order for me to sniff her out. She's here, waiting for you. She has been this whole time.
But then, why did we need to visit the Bronze Age?
Aggie thought it was important for you to see those memories, so you would understand her path before you met her. But also, wasn't it cool?
That it was. The things I've seen now. Oh, Sparky, thank you so much. To think, for a while there, I was worried that being dead was gonna be boring.
You are very welcome, Morris. Okay, so, shall we go say hello to Aggie?
Yes!
Morris, Sparky, it's so good to see you both.
Hey, Aggie.
Wait, you know me?
Of course I do. Morris Lupton, one of the best-loved men in the history of Shelmerston, with the very finest dog.
Me? Oh, I don't know.
Come now, let's go out of this place, into the air.
The one part of Shelmerston that looks just the same as the first day I saw it. I suppose it always will.
I love this beach. It's always been my favorite beach. I'm gonna go run.
Aggie, look at Sparky. She's shining.
That's the hope and the joy shining out of her.
That's it, isn't it? The point of all of this.
It is hope. Home. This island. It chose the two of you, just as it chose me.
And where will you be heading now? Heaven or something?
Heaven? What's that?
Well, I don't quite know how to explain it. But to me, it would be an awful lot like this beach.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm hoping to see Ibni, my daughter. It's been a very long time, but I remember her.
So is Morris and Sparky.
We never forget the ones we love, do we, Morris?
No, I don't suppose we do.
I think she wants something, Morris.
Would you look at that? I just found a tennis ball in my pocket. Here you are, girl.
But is he the custodian now? Was it clear? What did they say that he was the custodian? I don't know. I thought. I don't know. It didn't need to be a battle, but let me look that up. I did. If not, the volcano blew up anyway. I'll take it. We'll say that he's the custodian. And Sparky was dead. Sparky had to be dead for like 1,000 days. So he just gotta accompany her. That's gonna be my ending and how I take that. I enjoyed this game. It was fun. Learned some lessons.